Hi guys, so today we're joined by my good friend Yiannis Christodolou. He's a GB age group athlete, and we're going to talk about his journey into becoming an athlete and some of the challenges he's faced along his journey. So, you ready to start?
Yeah, ready.
Okay, so great. Talk us through your background. So, where you come from, where you grew up.
Okay, so I was born in Canterbury. My mum's Cypriot, my dad's half Cypriot. He was born here, but my grandparents are from Cyprus. So I've lived in Canterbury and England all my life. Not really much sporting background, probably not until 2012. I mean, I used to play five-a-side football, but that doesn't really count, does it? So in 2012, I was watching the Olympics and quite inspired by the Brownie brothers. Watching a triathlon. I don't know why I watched it, but I just remember seeing it thinking, oh, 3 disciplines, quite good. And then prior to that, I did like the odd charity run. 2010 I did Sport Relief and I hated it. But yeah, no background until the Olympics. And
So you weren't really a sporty person before you started?
No, I used to play football and I was at the gym, but not really. I mean,
not as intense as it is now.
No, not at all. Like, I was at school, I won the 800 metres at Sports Day, but that was probably about it. I remember a friend of mine, he did a 10k in, so he did it in 55 minutes, and he was like, oh yeah, I was sprinting, blah blah, and he was like, should we join a running club? So that sort of like was like, well yeah, actually I would like to join a running club, and it all started in September 2012.
Wow, it's only 6 years ago.
Only
really.
6 years ago. So, and in that same time I couldn't swim, and I remember the same friend, we went swimming, and I went in the 33 metre pool in Canterbury. I remember doing about 6 lengths in an hour. I just absolutely killed me. So that was that, and then I joined a running club, got better running. I wanted to do a triathlon, bought like a cheap bike, got loads of injuries, nearly quit because I thought, well, why am I getting all these injuries? I was getting recurrent calf strain. For 6 months, I was getting Achilles injuries.
Because it's quite full on, isn't it, for your whole body as well? And
yeah, well, I was only training for running at the time. I was doing this one swim session a week. Then I went to a triathlon class, local gym, and she said to me, "Why you got goggles on?" And I was like, "Well, what do you mean why I got goggles on? I'm trying to swim." She said, "Yeah, but don't put your head in the water." So I was doing that like a doggy paddle. So from then, like, I learnt stroke, and I got a little bit better. So I didn't do any triathlons for a couple of years, and it'll be my first this year. But so I did the aquathlon. So basically in 2015 I was in the process of getting married, buying a house for my wife, and didn't have time to train for triathlon. Obviously I had got a lot better in running then and swimming. So I thought, well, I'll give an aquathlon a go. So the following day after my honeymoon, when we came back, I was completely jet lagged. I had some like sports testing a few days beforehand. Before I went away, and I sat down with the guy about how to improve my running stuff, and he said to me, "Don't go and do it because you're absolutely shattered. You're gonna get injured." Anyway, I did it, and I'm my first
Did you
one.
Get injured?
I didn't get injured, so
that's
all right. So the first one, learned a lot of things. Like I finished 5th. I didn't double knot my shoelaces because it's like very similar to triathlon. So I had like basic gear, and I probably did my shoelace about 5 times during the run, but I liked it, and I thought, well, I'll give it another go. And then a month later I did the same race. I was about a minute and a half quicker, and from there I just went on to qualify for the Great Britain team in 2016.
Wow, it's quite a journey, isn't it?
Yeah, quite a journey.
But you clearly love it and quite passionate about it, so
yeah, I love it. I mean, obviously got a full-time job, so I do about at least 15 hours training a week, but it's still, luckily, working for the NHS, you've got flexible hours and you can work till 8 till, I could go in at 8 and finish at 4, so I'm in the gym by 4:30, and I can do stuff and then still get home for 7:30, so still got a bit of an evening to do stuff.
Still there's a good balance in your life with the training and work. Yeah, the training doesn't take over fully.
No,
that's good. So how often are you training? How many days a week?
So 6 days a week. So normally double sessions. So now I'm training for triathlon. It's a bit more, but so a typical week would be like Monday gym session followed by a swim session. Tuesday would be swim followed by a run session. Wednesday would be swim and gym. Thursday would be a long run and a bike. Friday speed session, running, and then swim, and then Sunday I'll do a long run and a bike, for example. So that's just a typical, like, well, not easy, but typical week training.
So you're definitely getting in your recommended more than 20 minutes per day of exercise, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely.
That's awesome, yeah. So who inspires you?
So it'd have to be, for me, would be Gwen Jorgensen. So when I first took up this multi-sport, I remember watching the triathlon, and she's just an amazing athlete, and she hugely inspired me. What she does on the run, she would be like 3 minutes behind someone in a run and just destroy them and still win. And
wow.
she's like a multiple world champion and Olympic gold medalist. I sort of like get a bit of a likening to her, because when I come out of the water, I'm always behind the pack sort of thing, and I know my strong point is a run, and I know I'm going to be one of the quickest in my races running, so I know I can gain that time. And I sort of, like, in my head, always think of her and think of what she would do if she was in the run.
So
and
that helps get that last minute push,
knowing that she will keep going to the end. And and then it's helped.
Yeah, sure. Okay. And what would you say today is your greatest achievement?
Okay, so there's a couple. That's a problem. So greatest achievement would have to be first year of competing for Great Britain, and first year really competing in the aquathlons, winning 2 bronze medals. Like one was the national championships. I'll just go briefly into that. So turned up, didn't really know what to expect in Leeds, quite a big event, and I just remember coming out quite far behind in the lake and really going for it, and was shocked that I finished 3rd in my age group.
Wow.
So in local events I'm quite good. So far since I've done it, I've done 29 aquathlons, and in all my racing career I've done 29 aquathlons and the podium 25 times.
Wow.
So
that's quite a good record.
Yeah, it's quite a good record. Only 5 wins, but
still,
podium.
Good.
So what I did this year, I suppose, I went to nationals 10 days after the World Championships, and I had a great race as 9th, but I just was absolutely shattered for the whole week. I just didn't recover, and I had to have 2 days off before the race, and I turned up really tired, and so turned up, did the race, started to swim. The first thing was I was flapping around my watch because there were 10 people to get back, and I didn't realise, so I went to reset my watch, looked up and everyone had gone.
No.
They was about 2-3 metres in front, which is no big deal, but it's not what you want to do in a national championships.
Did you think you blew it at that point?
So I started going to swim, and then I realised in the swim I was swimming by people that are normally a little bit in front of. So I was like, because I had such a great swim at the World Championships, so I was like, I don't know. I come on, and I think I was 5th or 6th in my race, and I came home in 1st place.
It's quite an achievement though, because if you look at the timeline that you've been doing this for, it's quite relatively short amount of time.
Well, 2 years, just over 2 years, nearly 3 years. So
sure, and some people train their whole lives for this sort of thing, or they start when they're like really young, when they're like toddlers or whatever. But and they train. But yours is the whole thing. 6 years you've been doing it for, like training.
Well, 6 years, but I've only done aquathlon since late 2015.
Yeah,
I've only done a couple.
Even a bigger achievement, isn't it? And you're placing at these sort of levels now, so it's quite something to be proud of, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm really proud, and it's quite. Sometimes when I go to local events, people say to me, "Oh, you're right," and stuff like that, and it's quite nice. The nationals, I mean, the first year I got bronze, second year I got silver, and then the third year I got gold. So it's good to see a nice trend. I mean, ideally I do want to place a bit better in the world and European championships, but I mean, at the end of the day, I try my best, and
of course that's all you can do.
Yeah, all we can do.
So how do you mentally prepare for a race or a competition? What goes through your mind, or do you not think about anything, just literally focus on that goal?
Well, the first thing is that when I first started doing all this stuff, like I used to get really nervous in local events and stuff, like just before like done any of this GB stuff. I sort of gone through it, I used to have sleepless nights, but it's weird, it's the big events that I'm alright with. It's the local events that I'm a nervous wreck. And
why do you think that is?
Nervous. I don't know if it's because people know me more and there's more expectation. I mean,
is that pressure you put on yourself though, do you think, or is it a real pressure?
It's probably not real pressure.
No.
It's probably pressure I put put on myself. But there's things like I've done, like I've had like a psychology coach, Go Binder, which has helped me the last couple of years. And so to mentally prepare for any race, I do everything like I would do for a big race. World Championships, for example, the day before, I chill out in the hotel, listen to music. I don't want to do too much walking because I can do that after the event. Because what I realised when I went to Mexico, we'd done a lot of walking, had a lot of stresses, a lot of stuff that I couldn't control, and I panicked so much, and it just completely ruined my race. So I've learned to relax the day before, listen to music. But on race day, I shut my self off. So this year we got on the coach. I won't talk to anyone. Wife sitting there.
Just in silence.
She just listens to music.
Yeah.
I've got my music. I'm like in the zone. Music like relaxes me.
Is that almost as if you're doing meditation before or something?
Yeah,
or
yeah. Well,
mentally preparing yourself.
Yeah, and it's to relax you as well and think of what you're going to do. And then I go through like the race plan on the day, what I'm doing. Like, of course, I think of a plan before, but I think of a race plan and what if goes wrong, what can I do, and different situations. But to be honest, I'm probably more relaxed, but then I get a bit nervous at the start, but then I suppose it's natural. And
of
then,
course, yeah.
You just start and you
just do it.
You do it, yeah. But what's important though is not to lose your head. Like mentally in the race, you need to be there. If you're running slower and you're looking at your watch or something, you know that you're running slower. It could be a number of factors, the heat. So everyone else could be suffering. So you mustn't let that get into your head. Like, I mean, at the World Championships, there was guys that I saw were walking. I know we got stung by jellyfish and it was quite hard and it was hot as well. It was a tough race, but I mean, once your mind's in the wrong frame of mind, that's it. I think you've got a big problem.
So having the experience you've got now and knowing what you know now, is there anything you would tell yourself when you were first starting out? Any advice you'd give yourself?
Yeah, there'd be loads, but probably don't stress out. I mean, control the controllable. When I turned up to the World Championships in Mexico, the problem we had was we were staying in Playa del Carmen, which is opposite Cozumel, and we were told that we could get the race started like I think 7:30, I can't remember, in the morning, but there would be a ferry at like 5:30, 6 take us over there. Well, in fact, on the day it wasn't, because I had to be out of transition by 7, I think. So there wasn't. The first boat across was at like 6:45 in the morning, which was a half an hour journey. So there's no way I was going to make it into transition. Something like that. I can't remember the exact timings. And I just remember I panicked 2 nights before because we weren't sure, and then the following day it was a nightmare. I had to go, I was panicking, walking around everywhere looking for a hotel in the main island. You've got 3,000 athletes because it's part of the World Triathlon Series, so you had all the pros there, and it was just trying to find a hotel really was, so now like I've used that experience not to panic and just relax and keep calm, just control what you can. So it's one of those.
You could probably use that advice in every aspect of your life. You can only control what you can control. If something's out of your control, it's not worth getting stressed over, is it?
No, exactly. Right. And getting stressed will make it worse.
So thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this interview. Don't forget to follow Yiannis on Instagram and Twitter. We'll put his links up. And don't forget to subscribe for some more content. Take care. Someone's always going to hate you for something.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to be like this perfect, idealised person, it's exhausting.
No, you can't. You
won't
be.
So you just got to accept the fact that no matter what you do, someone's going to hate you.
Oh, they're always going to. Yeah.
Even Mother Teresa got hate. Do you know what I mean? Like, thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this interview. Don't forget to. Sorry, mate. Right. So talk us through some of your medals then. So what's this one here?
Okay. So this is the national 2016 National Championships. I don't know if you can see that, but so I was 3rd in that at Leeds. In my age group. So that was my first big race. And then 2 weeks later, this was the European. So this is the European Aquathlon Championship. And
that was in France, was it?
That was in France in Châteauroux, and that was 2016.
Wow.
So I was 3rd in my age group there. Obviously, that's my favourite medal.
Yeah.
Because I've only got one of them.
Yeah.
This one was in Leeds again, the national championships last year. I was second in my age group.
Second in your age group, wow.
I was really proud moment, and really happy about it. So that's that one.
And then this one.
And then this one is
gold.
Yeah, this is so I'm the national champion this year. Amazing. For my age group, and that was in Peterborough this year. So yeah, you like them, don't you?
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I wish I could say I've got some medals, but
it's an upwards trend, isn't it?
Yeah, that is. So even though that was a gold one, you're most proud of this one.
Yeah, because it has to be, isn't it? Because it's a European medal.
It's a bigger event, isn't it?
Yeah. Try and get a worlds, but
yeah.
Nah. You can try, can't you? So
maybe next year.
Yeah. I mean, I've done it all maybe next year, but I mean, I've done it all in the nationals, so
yeah, why not?
yeah.